Every single night, you step into this other world, one that's built entirely by your own mind. Dreaming is, when you think about it, one of the weirdest and most universal things we all do. It's like a private movie screening where you're the star, the director, and the audience all at the same time.
But why? What's the actual point of it all? Why does our brain spend a huge chunk of every night cooking up these bizarre, surreal, and sometimes wonderful stories? Okay, let's try to get to the bottom of this.
And here's the fascinating part. There isn't one single clear-cut answer. Even science is still figuring it out. But what we do have are some absolutely incredible theories. So think of this as a tour of the leading ideas for what's really going on when you close your eyes. All right, first up, let's imagine your brain as this busy after-hours workshop. So while your body is powered down and resting, your brain, it's clocking in for a major shift. It's working hard, sorting through that massive flood of information you took in all day. It's not just random noise, it's essential mental housekeeping, tidying everything up before the next day starts.
And this is where that whole workshop idea really clicks. It's like, over here, your brain is sorting memories, deciding, yep, keep that one, nope, toss that one. In another corner, it's processing emotions, like that slightly awkward conversation you had earlier. Yeah, it's dealing with that. And maybe the coolest part, it's running simulations, remixing your fears and hopes with old memories to kind of test drive the future. That whole idea of processing emotions? That leads us straight into our next big theory. What if dreams aren't just for organizing information, but for being your own personal built-in therapist? The thinking here is that dreaming is just crucial for our emotional health. It gives us a safe, virtual space where we can face our fears or maybe relive something stressful, but without any of the real-world consequences. It's basically a way for your brain to take the emotional edge off of your experiences. And what's the end game? Well, it's all about regulating our moods so we can wake up feeling more centered and ready to go. Now, a more intense version of this is the threat rehearsal theory. This suggests our brains evolved to run these nightly drills of primal dangers, like being chased or falling, just to keep our survival instincts razor sharp. It's like a virtual training ground for your fight or flight response. Okay, so we've talked about organization and therapy. Pretty purposeful stuff. But what if dreams aren't that deliberate at all? What if there's something way more spontaneous, more creative? Well, that brings us to our wildest theory yet. Here's how this one supposedly works. During REM sleep, the deep dreaming part of sleep, your brainstem just starts firing off all these random electrical signals. Total chaos. But then your higher brain, which just loves a good story, intercepts all this random noise and does its absolute best to weave it into a narrative, no matter how weird it gets. And this metaphor is just perfect. Imagine a film director being handed a bunch of random clips, a memory from when you were a kid, the face of a stranger you passed on the street, that feeling of falling, and being told, action, make a movie out of that right now. That could be exactly what your brain is doing every single night. So let's just pause and compare these two for a second. On one side, you have the mental workshop. That's all about creating logical order from the day's real events. And on the other side, you've got the improv show, which is about creating a story from pure, internal, random chaos. Two totally different, but pretty compelling ideas, right? So after all that, which one is it? What's the final answer? Well, the truth is, it's probably not an either-or situation. These theories don't necessarily cancel each other out. Dreaming is likely a multi-tool for the mind, doing a bunch of different jobs at once. Let's just pull it all together here. Maybe your brain is acting as a memory librarian, an emotional therapist, a survival trainer, or a chaotic artist. The point is, it's doing some incredible work while you're asleep. Each of these theories just gives us another amazing piece of this puzzle. In the end, whatever the precise scientific reason turns out to be, the result is the same for all of us. Every night, your mind creates a totally unique, totally surreal masterpiece. It's a story that's written, directed by, and stars you. So here's a thought for you to take to bed tonight. The workshop is opening up, the therapist is on call, and the improv director is ready to shout action. The only real question left is, what incredible story will your brain tell tonight?